Have you ever literally been trembling trying to do one more repetition, muscles on fire, heavy breathing, wanting to give up but persisting, and then wondered, is this helping me lose weight or am I just torturing myself for nothing? Today, we're going to resolve this doubt once and for all. Training to failure is one of those topics that divides many people. Some people swear it's the secret to results, some people think it's the perfect recipe for injury, and most people don't even know what training to failure really means. So let's start there. Training to muscle failure means taking the set to the point where you literally can't complete any more repetitions with the correct technique. It's not just it's difficult, it's the point where the muscle simply stops. Zero, the end, there's nothing more. That's true muscle failure. And here begins the first problem. Most people think they are training to failure, but they're not. They're stopping when it hurts, when it gets difficult, when they get tired. That's not failure, that's discomfort. True failure goes far beyond that. Now, back to the central question. Does this help or hinder weight loss? The honest answer is, it depends. And I know you hate it when someone says it depends, but it's the reality. Let me explain why. First, let's understand what happens in your body when you train to failure. When you push a muscle to its absolute limit, you cause very high metabolic stress, intense muscle micro-tears, almost total depletion of local glycogen, and your body needs much more energy to recover from all of that. This creates what we call EPOC, which is excess post-exercise oxygen consumption. In practice, it's simple. Your body continues to burn calories at an accelerated rate hours after you leave the gym, sometimes even 24, 36 hours later. That sounds good for someone who wants to lose weight, right? And it is good. When used correctly, training to failure significantly increases the total daily calorie expenditure, not only during the workout, but especially afterward. You go to sleep and your body is working like crazy to recover, spending energy to do so. In addition, intense muscle stress stimulates more release of anabolic hormones such as testosterone and GH, growth hormone. And muscle is your greatest ally in weight loss because it raises your basal metabolic rate. Every pound of muscle you gain increases your calorie expenditure at rest. But now comes and that's where it gets complicated. Training to failure in every workout, in every exercise, every week, that's a serious problem. And that's exactly what many people do, thinking that more is always better. When you go to failure too often, the central nervous system enters chronic stress. Unlike the muscle, the nervous system does not recover in 48 hours. It can take days, sometimes weeks. And while your nervous system is overloaded, your body is producing excess cortisol. And that's what destroys weight loss. What does chronically high cortisol do? It increases fat accumulation, mainly in the belly. It reduces protein synthesis, meaning you lose muscle. It increases appetite, and specifically the craving for sugar and high-calorie food. And it deregulates other important hormones, such as leptin and ghrelin, which control hunger and satiety. So the scenario is this. You train to failure every day thinking you're accelerating weight loss, but in reality, you're creating a hormonal environment that favors fat accumulation. It's the opposite of what you want. There's more. When you're always at your limit, the quality of your workout plummets throughout the week. You go to the second, third workout of the week still without recovery, you perform the movements poorly, carrying less weight with less real intensity, and then weight loss stalls completely. And there's the risk of injury. At real muscle failure, the technique inevitably breaks down. When you're exhausted, the body recruits compensatory muscles, posture collapses, and then injuries occur. An injury takes you out of training for weeks or months. That really hinders weight loss. So what's the right strategy? Here's the gold standard. Training to failure works very well when you use it strategically. In the last set of an exercise, in the last sets of the workout, 2 to 3 workouts per week at most. Not in all exercises, not in all sets. The smartest approach for those who want to lose weight is to finish the sets 1 to 2 reps before failure. This is called RIR, reps in reserve. You finish the set still with 1 or 2 reps in the tank. This keeps the muscle stress high enough to stimulate results, but without destroying the nervous system. And save 1 set to true failure for the end of your workout in the safest exercise for you. Generally, insulation exercises, those that work one muscle at a time, are safer to go to failure. bicep curls, tricep extensions, lateral raises. Compound exercises like squats and deadlifts to failure are dangerous and unnecessary. Another excellent strategy, the drop set. You get close to failure, reduce the weight by 20 to 30%, continue to failure with the lighter weight. This generates gigantic metabolic stress without so much neural stress. Perfect for weight loss. And don't forget, weight loss happens in the kitchen too. No training strategy works if the diet is wrong. Training to failure creates a larger calorie deficit, yes, but if you get home and eat more because you got intensely hungry, which elevated cortisol causes, you cancel everything out. So the practical summary for you to apply now is use training to failure strategically, not indiscriminately. Prioritize finishing most sets with 1 to 2 reps in reserve. Reserve true failure for the last set of 2 to 3 exercises per workout. Respect recovery between workouts, and keep your diet in order because it is irreplaceable. Training to failure is neither the villain nor the hero of weight loss. It's a tool, and a tool used incorrectly hurts. Used correctly, it enhances your results impressively. So the next time you're on that last set, trembling at your limit, now you know exactly what's happening in your body and whether it's worth going all the way or stopping with 1 rep to spare. This awareness is what separates those who stagnate from those who truly evolve. If this content made sense to you, leave a like, comment what you think, and subscribe to the channel. There's much more content on psychology and fitness science coming soon. Until the next video,